yesterday off. Didn't work.
Yeah, bad luck.
More important is your sound, right, Ross? I haven't got any sound yet, stand by.
How are the nerves?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good.
Just see how we go, hey?
Yes.
Shall we? Talking 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Checking. We're just about to get going here for the Grassroots Rugby Show presented by Clutch TV. Great to be here again alongside Will Davies and Sean Maloney as well. Having spent the last few days with Mr. Maloney. Lovely to see you again.
Plenty of time. Plenty of time.
Sorry? You want me to keep going? Keep talking here at Grass. We're good?
Yeah, no, just wait a second.
Are you on? You've got this Saturday off, Shawnee?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no work this week.
I'm good. Well, you can have wood for that now.
How's Tony doing?
I've only watched with him once at East, so he's again this week at uni.
Yeah, okay.
So it's Tony Parksy and I. But I still can't jump in like I thought I was going to be able to last week, but they're just not doing it.
So we're just going to do you'll see the preview on the screen. As soon as you see yourselves live,
I will not kick that again. I will not kick that again.
Right. You want to move
fact.
that along? Yeah. Good job.
Five, 4,
Ooh.
2. In the previous screen, that's all. We're back to your.
Trav, can we make a note too to change that photo?
Yeah, that's fine.
Thanks. I don't like
Your
it.
photo?
Yeah, I don't like it.
You seen my photo?
Yeah.
Like
Neither are great.
Like a 19-year-old in Ibiza.
I just hated that dress. And makeup and hair. I hated everything about that day.
Oh my gosh. Sydney Derby is being played in Perth tomorrow night in the AFL. How about that?
That's so weird, isn't it?
Sydney Swans
So weird.
GWS playing at Optus Stadium in Perth.
So weird.
In front of probably their biggest crowd all year.
Yeah.
Just,
15, 20,000.
yeah, so we'll just start.
Last week.
Yeah.
All good. We're going to start on the white show, come you guys will attack.
Okay, so it's about 3 minutes.
Recording and when you're ready.
Hello and welcome to the Grassroots Rugby Show presented by Clutch TV. I'm Louise Ransom, joined as always by Will Davies and Sean Maloney. Guys, great to see you. Another week.
Huge result off the back of last week's episode when gangbusters, they were coming from everywhere to chime in and have a crack at each other.
That's it, we dropped into a few more people's DMs. We got stuck in with all of the Clutch footage, heard a bunch of yarns from around suburban rugby and regional rugby as well. The Mudgee Wombats are featuring. Can't wait.
Big episode, huge episode coming.
Well, make sure you download the Clutch app. You can find it on the Apple Store and also in Google, and search clutch.tv as well. Plenty of content coming your way on those platforms, so look out for that. Guys, we're going to get into the top tries straight away here. Will, get us started.
Yeah, outstanding stuff. Tim McCutcheon for Colleagues is the first one off the bat. We've seen some absolute rippers in the last little while. Great feature, I think, from a lot of the clips we've seen has been the defence, but when you've got attacking weapons like you do here for subbies, in subbies rather, with Colleagues. It was a wet day, not a lot of the subbies teams got on, but Tim McCutcheon here on the end of some really nice work from Colleagues, some great support lines. Again, the defence was solid, but a nice little cut inside when you reserve props playing like that. Things are going pretty well.
Condon to Murphy is a great try. Made it close to the back end of that one. This time around, we're going to Drummoyne Oval. Christian Yasmin, big result this for the Galloping Greens, and great connection from Starkey to Carter. Dara, who's throwing the last ball there to Yasmin on the outside. Couple of set-piece specials figuring across our top tries, Will. That's 2 from 2.
Keeps on getting better though. Have a look at this for a long-range effort from Eastern
This is my
Suburbs
favourite.
in
This
the
is my
Jack
favourite.
Scott Cup. A little bit of footwork and the pace from Tamsin Barber. Look at her just burning Randwick.
No, what's the
under
footwork,
lights.
Will? What's
Well,
the
it keeps on
footwork,
getting
Will?
better. The skills that we've seen from rugby players around Sydney and New South Wales the past few weeks, on the toe, off the feet, superb stuff.
Barber.
The bouncing ball.
So good.
I mean, you can do it with a round ball. Can you do it with an oval ball? Yeah,
Do you know how hard it is, though, on that AstroTurf type deck to be able to control like that? So good.
Yeah.
Speaking of control, Gordon in it from the outset against the Rats at Chatty Oval. Right, I own him out of the match, finding Brandon Quinn all afternoon long. I'm screaming while I'm commentating. Will, I'm saying, give it to Quinny, let him loose. He'll do this for you all day, every day. The Aussie 7-star rounding out, I reckon, maybe the try of the weekend.
Yeah, a big performance from Gordon, which we'll touch on a little bit more later. Still at Wallara, or back to Wallara. Hamish Moore with the Eastern Suburbs Colts. They are firing at Colts level Eastern Suburbs. Not an unfamiliar tale, but again, wonderful lines from the attack and terrific support play. How about
Well, what about him pulling the pass in initially, then throwing it, and here he is again?
Yeah, superb stuff from Eastern Suburbs, and well done to Hamish Moore. Wonderful stuff from him, and they come from everywhere to celebrate.
That's not a bad way to get started. That's a thumping way to get rolling.
A lot of class.
All the way through, subbers all the way through. You know, we got it.
We do. So that's all the good stuff. Then shall we look at all the bad stuff?
The even better stuff.
This needs to be rebranded for starters. Yeah, this needs to be called the Clutch TV Clanger, right?
Yes.
Clutch.tv Clanger, and it is an absolute ripper for Kipani. Eva Kipani, where we've seen her do a thing in the Aon 7, seen her do a thing for Wallaroos. Surely she scores this.
I mean, you expect her to be charging through the line, but you don't expect her to be falling at the final hurdle.
Cut by Barber.
That's
Cut
right.
down by Barber right under the black dot. How about it? Tamsin Barber had a huge day out. How does she not score?
Well, so to Eva Kapani.
Whammo.
An amazing day. But we've seen this a few times the past couple of weeks. If you're going to get across the line, put the ball on the floor.
There's more Eva coming a little bit later, though. She gets her own back.
Absolutely.
And some.
Yeah.
Okay, looking forward to it. Let's move on to the Shoot Shield and check things out there. We have to start with this result, Sean. No one, I think, was predicting this. We'll start with the draw.
Well, I tell you who weren't predicting it. The bookies who had Newcastle's 26-1 outsiders, underdogs, to try and beat Manly away from home at Manly. And you thought, surely, the Marlins will bounce back to the winner's circle after going down against Norths last week. They set up a 29-22 lead late in this clash, Will, but then calamity at the back end from the Marlins.
Yeah, heat going on in this. And Michael Hodges, Sydney Uni's coach the week before, said although they got on top of Newcastle, they expected them to beat some sides or challenge them. This is where it all turned. Now, do you reckon that's a penalty?
I'm the wrong guy to ask because you know that I've played 100 games at Manly. So I'll let that slide. It doesn't matter because the arm goes out. So
Well, here it is in slow-mo. I mean, you don't
pinged
officiate life in slow motion, but the ball is patted dead. There's a huge amount of pressure.
from Robbie Busserow. Hey, you know what? It doesn't matter because Newcastle hung in there and they deserved the result in the end, getting the try off the back of that penalty.
Still had to
make.
execute.
Well, this is it. This is how it all played out at the closing. Inside closing rather 30 seconds. This is a try, well worked, well carried by Robbie B. Used to play with Manly. Did the eventual match levelling try scorer for Newcastle. Go on the Hunter Wildfires. Well played.
That's it, and the conversion still had to be kicked from that point. So, no doubt a decent trip home to Newcastle on the back of this. Wildfires are on the board in 2020. Michael Maloney over the match tying kick, so really nicely done.
I had a mate chatting to some of the lower graders from Newcastle down at Manly on the weekend. He said they just can't get enough of it being on the road each week. He's like, we're bus tripping every single weekend. We've got it all mapped out so perfectly. The road trip, there and back. They're loving it. They're loving life in the shoot.
That's the way to do it.
So fun. Let's take a look at what is happening in the Shoot Shield in terms of the ladder. Let's get to those results. Eastwood and Eastern Suburbs, 20 points to 17. That was the scoreline there. Southern Districts and the Two Blues, 37 points to 25. West Harbour and Randwick. Randwick way too good for the Pirates, 22 points to 0. And then Sydney Uni, way too good for Penrith, 41-3. Manly, as we said, in that draw. And Gordon, a very complete performance, which we'll take a look at later on, 52 points to 7. So those are the results. The Gordon game, we're going to look at it right now. Let's look at the Gordon performance against the Rats. Sean Maloney, you were there calling this one. I was sidelined. The rain held off, thank goodness. Gordon are looking the goods in 2020.
Well, we sat here week one going through the Clutch TV, sides to keep an eye on, and we spoke about Gordon being premiership favourites, and I think we both said no, not warranted, it should be Uni, no Gordon. But on the weekend they said, hang on a second, actually we are rightful through Rod Iona and the rest of the game. They were so good under Darren Coleman against his old club, the Rats.
Well, that's right, and it's that polish now that they've been able to develop under Coleman for a couple of seasons. They've got him for the entire campaign, and weapons out wide, Tuimalele Afano.
I enjoyed calling his name on the weekend. I took your lead.
Mate, and
great name.
he'll always put himself in the right position too, whether he's scoring the try or supporting. It's what you want from your winger. Harrison Goddard, wonderful work around the back of the scrum. And Rod Iona in the middle too. I mean, they've got class. He's come across from the Western Force, had a huge amount of experience. He's played international rugby union. They are a force this
What
year.
set that win up on the weekend was their defence. They did not let Warringah carry inside their 10-metre channel from their line until the last minute and a half of the game. It was extraordinary defence from Gordon, and now, well, they're rightful tournament favourites.
Yeah,
Shoot Shield.
absolutely.
That's it. Big win for Gordon. Big win for Randwick as well. Let's look at another game from the weekend. Randwick and West Harbour. 22 points to 0. This one, Will.
Yeah, not ideal at that point, but Randwick, another one of the better sides in season 2020. Terrific hands from Randwick and a decent little smattering of the crowd. I think it was back to West State.
That's Dylan
for West
Peach
Harbour.
scoring that try. We just keep rolling out Aussie Sevens players for the Randwick club. He's one of the great finishers and one of the hardest runners in the competition. Set up that 7-0 lead and they just kept hammering away.
Yeah, intercept for Dave Horwitz and charging away. No number on the back, shame to see.
Dave Horwitz. Yeah. How good having him back in Shoot Shield after going Tars, Rebels, Connacht, and now playing alongside Lockie Miller. Geez, this guy can go. He's
having the
phenomenal.
skill.
Away for Riley. He's can motor. Geez, they're looking good too, Will.
Yeah, hands on hips from a bit of West Harbour. A tough old day. They'll get better, I think, as they settle into things. But Randwick early on, you talk about those Sevens players. And a strong young forward pack too. We had Tom Nowlan involved with the show. Definitely a friend of the show.
Definitely.
And the entire Nowlan family. So, good to see Randwick going well.
Yeah, it is. A little tighter between East and Eastwood, though. Just 3 points in this one, and it all started with a great solo try, Will.
Yeah, I like Eastwood under Ben Batcher the past couple of years.
Did you tip them for this game? I had East winning easy.
At home, you'd probably put them in as favourites, especially, I think a few people are unsure where East would fit, but Gonzalez is going well, and Isley, we talk about exciting young players, he's a ripper. But East's another one of the favourites, definitely top 6 this year.
Do you think though? Now, like they've dropped that game last week against the Rats. They've gone down at home against the Woods. Are you still as confident on them as a top 6 team?
Yeah, I am. I think they will settle, and they'll get a few players back from the Waratahs as they go. The yellow card from Jimmy Quinn loves the chocolate milk and sushi. We've spoken about that pre-game routine. Yeah, look, it's a good one for Eastwood. Charlie Smith's the ripper on the edge, and they got Charlie Gamble, who I reckon will get released by the Tars in a little while, and hopefully he can get back and enjoy playing his rugby again. He's not getting much of a run at the moment, given everything going on with COVID-19. But this was a good one for Eastwood, able to hold on and get the job done.
Tough place to go and get a collect Woollahra, and pretty much wide to wide. They're from the Woodies, and you can see what that means. They get things rolling and heading in the right direction. They are definitely a top 6 team, Will.
Yep.
Okay, Southern Districts and 2 Blues. Let's check out these highlights. Now, our producer has written, classic game of 2 halves.
The old game of 2 halves. Some good header. Who was that from Western Sydney? It was outstanding. Jacob Delaloa. Yeah, look, game of 2 halves. Love a good game of 2 halves, and good to see Western Sydney being competitive. But Southern Districts, a lot of people had them as big improvers off the back of last campaign, and
Well, they led 22 points to 13 at half time.
yeah,
the 2 Blues.
And good to see the spirit too. They've got a bit about them this year, Western Sydney. They've had a few players come back to Tafu Pilota now, rolling around, supporting wherever he can. But there is some class for Southern Districts as well. I reckon,
That was Ladu who got him rolling in the right direction.
I reckon at this point, the 2 Blues, I mean, there's plenty to go, isn't it? It's these key moments in the second half for Southern Districts. They're never going to stop. And yeah, I don't know about this one.
Speaking of hard places to go and get a victory, Foreshore Park is right at the top, and they had enough there to get it done under coach Toddy Loudon, who would have been very happy to put away that dangerous Western Sydney 2 Blues outfit.
Let's look at the ladder with the teams remaining undefeated. In the top 6, Sydney Uni, they are in top position. Randwick and Gordon, Southern Districts follow, and the Norths and Eastwood sitting nicely there in the top 6, kind of going under the radar a little bit, as we've said. And let's move on to the bottom 7. Manly, Eastern Suburbs, Warringah, the Hunter Wildfires, Penrith, West Harbour, and the 2 Blues. So that is how it all looks at the moment in the Shute Shield. Question for you guys. Sydney Uni out on top with that 41-3 win over Penrith, but they're yet to play a top 6 team at this point. Are we yet to see them challenged, and will they be challenged?
Look, they'll definitely be challenged. I don't think that's going to worry Sydney Uni. I think they're one of those sides who will rise to the occasion of whoever they're playing, and they'll enjoy just easing into things. It's a refreshed squad in a lot of ways, new head coach, and being able to bring some of the more established players back into first grade after a bit of time in second grade, such as Henry Clooney's Ross.
They get a top 6 challenge this weekend, South at home. You'll be there, that one.
I will be.
The 7-2 match of the day. So they'll find out this weekend how they're travelling.
Yep.
Okay, a few COVID issues for Sydney Uni as well after their trip to the Hunter last week. They got a few players having to sit out, from what I know. So
There you go.
see how that unfolds. Let's look at next round, what we can look forward to. Already said about Souths and Sydney Uni, so looking forward to that. Norths up against the Wildfires. Randwick and Penrith, they will go at it. Manly and Gordon will also play each other. The West Harbour side and the Rats and Sydney Uni, Southern Districts, we've mentioned, and 2 Blues taking on Eastwood. So those matches you can all look forward to on either 7-2 or catch it all on Clutch TV as well. 2 Blues and Eastwood, could this be a game that the 2 Blues could really build on and potentially steal a little win, do you think?
I don't know about stealing the win, but they need to keep going in that right direction. The first half against Southern Districts was superb, so look, they're going pretty confident. Is that a TJ Milner?
It's a great question.
Sorry about that one.
It's not. It's away. It's a Parramatta.
I should know as well.
No.
Look, I mean, better chances there.
Yeah,
certainly.
definitely. Yeah, that's a little bit more in their favour. But as we've said, Eastwood are kind of going along quite nicely. So see how that goes. Colts. Let's talk about Colts, shall we? Love a bit of Colts chat. West Harbour and Randwick. We'll start things off and see what happened on the weekend. Will, you want to lead?
Yeah, it's a fair old start. This we've got Jason Smith, not the Paralympic sprinting champion from Ireland. West Harbour's outstanding flyer. Have a look at him go the length of the field. The pressure is coming. The high knees, the high arm action. It's terrific stuff. just about get there, stretching the hammies, and indeed maybe a little bit too much. The classic case of don't come at me too vigorously, I've done my hammy. So hope he's recovering well, Jason Smith. But
That's a carry though.
terrific
That's a
stuff.
carry.
Terrific stuff.
Taking it to them, because Randwick are obviously one of the sides we've got at the top of the list in terms of pushing for that Colts premiership. But West's at the other end of town, really putting it to them in this one.
Yeah, and I mean they're not.
Hey.
Now I'd love to have another look at this. This received a yellow card, I'm pretty sure. Looked like a bloody good tackle live. I don't know. I don't know if that's a yellow
What
card.
are you missing there?
I don't know.
Sammy Wong and Buffer definitely copying the right yellow card. It's only got to go through 90 degrees and it's yellow. And he was well through 90. Definite yellow card.
Okay, Len, Max Moore doing some damage from the back of the scrum here too. A penalty try resulted in.
Yeah, when you're going the wrong way with the set piece, it's not going to be all that great. As easy as you like for Max Moore, just controlling things at the back of the scrum, and then again and again for Randwick scrum. Good organisation. You can see their halfback just pleading with the referee, and certainly getting the good graces. So a hat trick for Randwick scrum, just burying West Harbour on the weekend. So yeah, pretty nasty stuff come the finish, certainly from a scoreline. I mean, there's a penalty try every day of the week as well. I'll agree with that one.
So they run in 31 straight after trailing 19-17. The Wicks Colts first team. Big second half rally.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Huge. Okay, East and Eastwood. Let's move on to that one. A thrashing. This scrum from East is going to start things off.
Yeah, 73-7 a final score. Not a great day for Eastwood. We've spoken about Eastern Suburbs Colts and the strength of that. Terrifically organised, wonderful push from Eastern Suburbs. And then as easy as you like out on the wing. So yeah, look, really nicely done from Eastern Suburbs, and Grass again looking really good.
They're having a real party with it. East 73-7. That's a huge result. We saw the contender for try of the round a little bit earlier from their freewheeling hooker Hamish Moore, and everyone was queuing up the jam a few in there against the Woodies on the weekend. So East continue to put the pressure on Union. Wicks at the top of the table in Colts.
Yeah, they certainly do. Southern Districts and two Blues. Southern Districts holding on to win this one in the end, but it was quite tight, Sean.
Indeed, it was. But this is why they're one of the teams to keep an eye on as well. Southern Districts, lovely little put down in the corner there against the two Blues, keeping an eye on the likes of Beckett and now Fahy were phenomenal on the weekend.
Yeah, 5 points, but it could have been a heck of a lot closer. Now, is this a knock-on? We've got a bit of vision coming up in a little while. Again, great footwork, really good stuff from Southern Districts. The two Blues 19, Southern Districts 24. Here come the two Blues. Firstly, how about the hit? Outstanding stuff.
That is not a small
Regulation
man.
shorts, probably not. Doesn't even matter. Have a look at this. Again, great support work from the two Blues. Getting it done. Southern Districts pretty desperate. Great to see another red-headed second row for Southern Districts after a man a couple of weeks ago. Now, had the option outside, goes himself. Looks like he scored the try, or did he? Got a consult knocked on. No. Now, I wonder where you stand on this, Shawnee, or sit as the case may be. Look at the options out wide, goes himself, leans out, desperate stuff again. Wonderful defence. I don't know where you stand on this, Shawnee. Now,
I'm
Fahy,
going for third look. This is like a Bledisloe replay.
as I said, life's not adjudicated in slow motion.
Are you
It's,
saying
sorts of
try or
things.
no try?
I reckon in real time, no try. But if you slow it down, there might have been down.
We don't quite have that luxury just yet at the first grade
we do
Colts
not.
level where we can replay it three
No.
times and zoom in.
Yes.
Okay, Gordon and Warringah, let's keep moving along in Colts. More woes for the Rats in this one, Will.
Yep, absolutely right. A great touch from Benjamin Pollock and Oliver Arcus with it on a string. Really good day again for Gordon.
I think they won every grade. I think
Yeah.
they won every grade across Colts and grade.
Yeah, she's getting dark at Chatswood Oval at this point as well. So 55-7. Great to see everybody just keeping going. That's some of the better nose plugging you'll see. And a bit of a stink as well. There's plenty of feeling. So good day for Gordon. Not so much for Rats, but Yeah, look, great to see everybody getting fired up. Where are we? Lost my place on this, but
Yeah, Gordon just so strong. I mean, that's a massive scoreline, 55 points to 7. Huge. Let's move on to Manly and the Hunter. Manly beat the Wildfires in this one. Nick Benn, again, in great touch for Manly, Sean.
Yeah, expected to win this one and doing just that. They're going about their work okay, Manly, at the moment down there on the Colts front, but yes, some good tries. And as I said at the top, the Newcastle Hunter Wildfires, Colts in particular, aren't minding being on the road week in, week out. Their day's done nice and early. I don't even think on occasion they're hanging around to watch ones play, Will. They're just straight back on the bus and heading north up past Warringah.
We'll meet you there.
We'll see you guys back at base camp.
Some very interesting lineouts in this one as well. I don't know if you look at this. Way to revolutionise things. Certainly from Manly. I mean, it doesn't look that windy. She's breezy, but not that windy.
It was not breezy at all.
So
That might be my bit of a line out if I attempted one.
This can only be bettered by Hunter's Bo Merrick with his own spin on things. 5 metre line, defending the line out. Have a look at this. I'll just go a regulation pass and we'll get the feed.
You know who Bo Merrick is? Do you know who he is?
No.
Son of Steve Merrick.
Okay.
Do you know who Steve Merrick is? The 2-test Wallaby. Do you know who Steve Merrick is? Guys, come on. He displaced George Gregan when Greaves was at the peak of his powers. Comes down and plays 2 tests for the Wallabies and then goes, you know what? This ain't for me. I'm going back to Singleton. Going to go drive my tractor in the mines. One of the greats from Singleton Rugby Club at the Bull Ring. So Bo Merrick, son of Steve, the great Wallaby.
Very good. Let's check out the ladder for Colts and see how things are looking there. Sydney Uni on top again. Randwick and Eastern Suburbs followed by Norths, Southern Districts and Gordon round things out in the top 6. Moving on to this bottom 7, Manly, Eastwood, Warringah, 2 Blues, Penrith, West Harbour and the Hunter Wildfires there in 13th position. So there's all the Colts chat for this week. It is time now to head around the grounds. Sean Maloney, let's kick things off with a former Wallaby.
This is my favourite part, I think, of the show. Each week outside of the top tries around the grounds, and Tatafu Plodder now playing 4th grade. Come on, this ain't fair. What's going on?
He's running through people, Will, isn't he?
He's playing professional rugby 6 months back now. He's down in 4s going about his work. Nice dummy and run as well from Taff. The hair is looking magnificent.
Yeah, the flow's on point.
Has the soul glow going on.
Yeah,
looking superb.
Mate, he is...
Shades of Dougie Howlett from back in the day. Got the soul glow.
Yeah, he's carving it up. A lot of people probably not that keen on laying him down. I don't know if I'd be standing in front of him either.
You know what I'm saying?
I absolutely do.
If they win this game, Western Sydney 2 Blues defeat the Southern Districts outfit in 4s and 2s at the weekend, thanks to Taff.
Okay, so that was all some 4th grade action. Let's move on to 2nd grade. 2 Blues with their first win of the season, Will.
Yeah, very nicely done from them. We've seen a little bit of the 2 Blues across a few of the grades. It's really nice. 26-17 against Southern Districts. Francis Tusila and Tanui Fire Cecilia. Good games from them as well. And look, it's going to be a nice old couple of weeks if Tatafu Plodder now keeps performing like he does in 4th grade, and then they're able to just really charge on through. He'll pop up across the grades as well, you'd imagine. Taff, he'll lend his hand when needs be. We've seen him helping out on the touchline. I don't know if I like the fact that our mate Maxie Freeman started on the bench for Southern Districts, though.
You're not a fan of?
I don't know if I like that.
Coming up, guys, we talked about the inches in the Southern Districts side last week. One of them got on the scoreboard.
Yeah, that's a clinch.
Yeah, Clayton Clinch, and couldn't get it done. Mate, he's a good size as well. Clayton Clinch, you see Taff getting busy again at 2nd grade level and doing what he does. Really nice.
Can we just quickly touch on the fact that we tried to get Taff on the show this week, and he thought it was like being asked to be spoken with before a Bledisloe Cup game.
Yeah.
I did Bledisloe decider. Sorry guys, just want to take it easy. Just want to ease into the competition. Just want to earn my chance to speak on behalf of the 2 Blues.
As I said,
get on the phone, Taff, you muppet.
Yeah, there are more holes in this program than many. I reckon he'd be bringing the standard up for sure.
We're very casual.
I love him.
Will, this next one is for you. There's a little bit of spice happening here. The age-old question, do you help your mate or do you play the whistle?
Yeah, there is a lot going on, and I really like it. Certainly, the officiator and referee, look at him go, eyes only for the ball. Wonderful position. This is what you touch. He's for awards the try, and a good little stink going on off the ball. That's it. Gordon's winger gets involved. Alex Odell, you talk about flow. Our mate from Victoria.
Odell rules.
Rolling
Odell
along.
rules.
Odell rules.
I have a feeling your family's gone down,
very,
Odell.
Very good. Yeah, it's a decent little rumble, this one, and you can see everybody getting involved.
Look, just as a warning though, for visiting teams to Chatswood, and most will know this, that's not the part of the field you want to try and pick a single, go the knuckle, because that's right in front of the locals. That's where all of them congregate, all the lower graders for the most part, and really rev it up. So you maybe just let that slide next time around that bit of real estate.
I think so. Randwick and West Harbour, let's move on to that. 2 props combining midfield. That's not bad from those sort of positions and players, is it, Will?
Yeah, the game's changed, hasn't it? Some heavy contact again, so nice from Randwick to get it going. And look, Theo Gibson and Declan Leaney with a bit of try-time action in that one too. Okay,
well, third played Forth East and Eastwood. Sean Maloney, what about this try coming up here? Talk me through this one.
Well, I'll do my very best to get you through this one. It's a real short ball, hospital pass from you, Lou. Donato is going to be our man sneaking down that short side, and he's going to seal it. Lovely little hands, stays alive on the inside, and he's a punchy runner, Will.
The Donato family really settling into things over in the eastern suburbs of Sydney. Bit of Spanish action going on as well. Dan Donato in first grade, and his brother James getting it done too.
Okay, Jack Scott Cup time. Let's check out how the girls are going. Randwick beat East. Randwick, they're going to be pretty hard to beat, you'd say, this year, Will.
Yeah, they will be. A lot of raps on them, and understandably so. We saw Eva Kapani with the clanger earlier. She had an enormous game, so that shouldn't take away from the work that she's done. You spoke about the fact she's part of the Wallaroos, Shawnee. Maya Stewart with a double. Look, Eastern Suburbs, they've had a big couple of weeks. They take on Warringah, who boasts likes of Chloe Dalton and Elia Green, and then they come up against a very strong Randwick side.
She's certainly got her own back after Tamsin knocked that ball clear early in that game, didn't she?
Yeah.
Such a good player.
Subbies, let's check out that action. Forest held on to beat Petersham. So Forest scored only 1 try, and Sean, it was an absolute beauty through Jared Palmer.
It wasn't it up at Melwood. Lovely little ball back on the inside. That's a bullet ball. What is going on at Melwood? Why? Where's the grass, Davies?
Mate, I'm loving Forest.
That's your part of the world. It's
I'm
barren.
loving Forest in Division 1 of Subbies this year. This is their first win in Division 1 in 10 years. Aidan Baker has them going beautifully. Have a look at this, though. For a botched effort to win the game for Petersham, over it goes. I was chatting to a few people at Forest. They reckon he played in second grade, that winger, and similarly kicked a ball over the sideline. Didn't catch one all day. So you have those days. A big win for Forest. Unfortunately, they weren't really able to celebrate around the club as always, but the Forestville RSL showed the game from Clutch, live streamed it through the clubhouse. They would have had a great afternoon at the Dribblers watching them get it done, but they're trying to be very COVID safe out at Forest. So yeah, really good
Spend a lot
stuff.
of time up there. You're really selling Forest as a destination and as, you know, a club on the move.
Well, look, part of the Grassroots Rugby show, and I think one of the features what we're all excited about is getting to know a few of the stories from around the suburbs. A bit of chat about Newport coming up, a little bit more of Forest as well. And
Talk to me about this fridge on fridge.
yeah, Jason Totolo.
action.
I can't wait to talk you through this this piece of work. Jason Totolo, he spent a lot of time with Warringah at Colts. He's been brought across to Forest by Aidan Baker. Have a look at this firstly, and then whooshka, gets it back. You've never seen a man smile more widely on a rugby field than Jason Totolo. He is wearing a 4XL jersey for Forest. They had to get it specially made for him overseas and get it shipped in from Asia. And apparently celebrated by going straight to the Colonel and getting himself a bucket of chicken.
Well, you know, that's a $1.45 up against a $1.35, no question.
Yeah.
Like, that would have shifted the sheds. That moment of impact.
Yeah.
That's Tautolo.
So we're getting stuck in with Forest over the next little while. They got Mossman this weekend, so
Tough one.
it is a
Gunnar
tough
Rawson.
one. Yeah.
Crosstown battle.
Nick Carter will be keeping Mossman
Speaking
honest.
of the Wales,
Yeah, up against colleagues in this one. Matt Mackay across to give colleagues the lead with just moments left in this one. There's pretty good sportsmanship happening here, Will.
Yeah, very much the case. You talk about Mossman. They're one of the favourites again this year. Forest have their work cut out, as we mentioned. Colleagues are an interesting one. We've sort of spoken about them. They had a tight win against Knobs early on. Not able to get it done as such here. What have we got? Final score 31-29, the way of Mossman, and again just out wide, plenty of space through the hands, and the game is done at the death. So Mossman with a win.
Okay, shall we see how it is looking in subbies? The Div 1 ladder is Des Moines on top. They're on 15 points. Mossman, they're on 14. Big gap then to third position. Petersham just on 6. Waverley, Forest, Colleagues all on 5 points. And Blue Mountains and Knox finish things up. That is how the Div 1 subbies ladder looks. Subbies Div 3, the Clark Cup.
How deep are we going?
We're
by
going so
Clark's?
deep.
Like,
Super
how
deep.
deep can we go?
Super deep. So a lot of subbies didn't get on the weekend because of the
frying my-
wild weather in Sydney.
Will,
Have a
you
look
are
at this.
frying my brain with all these highlights. I've never
Blacktown
seen more
up
highlights.
against Newport.
Bit
Lo
dry
and
there
behold,
too.
so Newport have a great relationship with the local council. A bit of irrigation was put in at the Oval a few years ago. As
I'll
a
tell you
result
this,
of that,
the most picturesque ground in world rugby.
As
Orders reserve.
As a result of that, they were able to get on. They've got that relationship with the council, who said, "We know you're going to look after it, get it done." They swept the grades against Blacktown, and pretty happy with the way things are going. This was a few weeks ago, though.
Whoa.
This is the same field, the old
Oh,
mudslide.
that's epic.
So it's the opposite of dry.
Go the Breakers. That's epic.
Okay, country rugby. We got a little bit more for you, Sean.
Where does it end?
Yeah.
We'll go.
So the Mudgee Wombats, potentially the oldest debutant, the oldest rookie, Greg Ward. I was chatting to Luke Humphries, the president there. He said he'd been giving Greg a little bit of stick. Greg's daughters have been playing with Mudgee over the past couple of years, so decided to get it done. Was out on the wing for second grade.
How old is he?
40s. We're talking late 40s, mid to late.
You got to have the exact number.
No, wouldn't give it to me. They
Oh,
wouldn't give
stop
it to
it.
me. No. Just talking in general terms. But a lot of great success with the Mudgee Rugby League outfits Greg Ward, and they brought him across. I reckon he'll go again this weekend. So we'll keep an eye on the Mudgee Wombats. Shout out to everyone out in Mudgee. Been doing all the training as well. So there's the commitment from Greg or Wardy, and keep an eye on Mudgee.
I reckon we just make up an age for him. He's
What are you going to go with?
53.
46?
53.
Okay.
And if I'm wrong, Wardy, hit me up.
Yeah, get in touch.
Get in touch. Get in touch on all the socials, on Clutch TV. You can find them on Instagram, Facebook, all the normal places. Also download the Clutch app, and you can go to clutch.tv to check that out, or on the Apple or Google Play stores. Download that. You can get all the vision and highlights and this show on that platform as well, so check it out. That is us done for another episode of the Grassroots Rugby Show. Will Davies, thank you for your company once again. Sean Maloney, always
We'll see you on the weekend.
a pleasure. I'm Louise Ransom. We will see you next time for the Grassroots Rugby Show.
Cool. All right, guys. If we can just read it at Colts bit, just because there's a couple of times where it's going to make you guys look silly
Yeah, great.
with names. So we can just do the Colts one.
Yeah.
So we'll go back. Yeah, sorry.